Okay, so I am talking about persistence today because I missed it on the climbing gym. So anybody that was supposed to be on that, I'm sorry, technical difficulty. But anyway, something that really kept me going when I would run into trouble was a story that I heard from a Jerry Clark. And if anybody knows Jerry Clark, he is with the Rhino Club. So he came up with this story, and this story was a combination between Les Brown when he spoke about the Masters of Misery and Murphy's Law. And then it was combined also with a book from Scott Alexander called Rhinoceros Success. So that was Scott Alexander, Rhinoceros Success. So he took those two together and he made this story that helped him get through any obstacles that he may come across. So in this story, there are 5 members, and these members test you, and they test people at all levels of commitment to reaching their goals and their dreams and their aspirations. And the Murphy's Committee, they just come against you, and they just try to knock you down so that you can't make it to these dreams, goals, or aspirations. So there's a couple places. There is the cow pasture, there is the jungle, and there is the land of paradise. So most of us are born with a rhino spirit. And the rhino spirit is one where you come up with a thick skin and you go after what you want. You have a big heart and you just go after, and you're persistent to get what you want. And there's the cows. And the cows are the passive ones that sit in their cow pastures and they eat their grass, and they may look over at another cow and say they have greener grass, and they always want what the other one has, but they don't really want to go out of their comfort pasture. And they have a very thin skin, and every little thing gets to them, and there's a lot of complaining within the cows. So those are the two people, the cows and the rhinos. So we all start out, most of us all start out in the cow pastures, and we want to get to the land of paradise. And in order to get to the land of paradise, we have to go through the jungle. And in order to go through the jungle, when we get in there, there's going to be a lot of obstacles, but the Murphy's Committee is going to be against you so that you can't make it to that land of paradise. So the people that venture out of the cow pasture and try to get to that land of paradise, they enter in there, and the first Murphy's Committee is one that gets so many right off the bat. I mean, their skin is so thin that they let that first arrow from the Murphy's Committee just wipe them out right then and there. So that is the family. So how many people have started in business and their families saying, this stuff never works. You should just go back to your job. Don't even try that. Those things never work. How many people have heard that, right? So that right there, the family loves you and they don't want you to get hurt. So, it's not a secure place to go out of the cow pasture and start going into that jungle. So they try to stop you right at the get-go. And there is a lot of people that stop right then and there. It gets a lot of people. So in order to get through, you need to persist through that. So the people that persist through that, they get to the next level. And that's Murphy number 2. And Murphy number 2 can be all kinds of things. Maybe the finances, maybe just other people saying negative things. So for me, Murphy's number 2 was the fact that I moved a lot. I would stay in a place for 3 to 6 months, traveling, doing an ultrasound career. So when I was establishing my business, I had to come up with a way to take those client base and to get what I've learned and take it to another whole side of a country and work it again. and still keep those people. And I didn't have much guidance in that area because how many people move every 3 to 6 months? I mean, there's not very many. So I had to persist through that. And persisting through that, oh, so persisting through that was hard, but I did it. So that was my Murphy's number 2. Yours could be a little bit different, and a lot of times it is the finances that get you in Murphy's number 2. And if you can make it through Murphy's number 2, oh my gosh, number 3 is just sitting there waiting for you. And number 3 is a doozy, because that is where something that's going to tear your emotions is going to hit you. Number 3 is the emotion killer. It's going to be something that's outside of your business, that's just going to take your eyes away from what you're doing, and it's going to take your emotion. Maybe it's a big breakup with a boyfriend, girlfriend. Maybe it's a divorce. Maybe it's a foreclosure on a house. Maybe it's your cars being repossessed. Maybe it's a parent dying, or a sibling, or a spouse passing away. Maybe it's something like that, but it's always something that is like gut-wrenching, something that's going to really try to pull you away. And that for me was divorce. I was somebody that doesn't believe in divorce, but my husband was somebody that didn't believe in marriage. So one of us was going to have to give at some point in time. And I was the one that gave, and it was necessary and it was good, but it's still a hard process to go through. And to persist through that time, I knew I had to keep going, because I've seen others that get to this Murphy's number 3 and it just stops them dead, and they never get back on, and then they regret it. I've seen so many. I've seen a really good friend that her father had passed away, and she never got back in, and it just hurt my heart so much. And I talked to her, and she's like, I need to really get back to it. I need to start, because I mean, I was growing, I was building, and now it's like down to, So you have to persist through those really hard times, and this one is really hard to do. So anybody out there, when you're getting through this time, make sure you're really taking care of looking at the climbing gym every day and doing that one little thing that's on the climbing gym every day, because that's what's going to help you to succeed. So then you get to number 4. Number 4 is really just going to do anything to stop you, because they're impressed that you've made it past the emotional one. But number 4 typically is something team or business related. So it's something that's just going to in your business. So with mine, I'm actually on Murphy number 4 right now, is gossip. I hate gossip. I despise it. It is something that can destroy businesses like I've never seen. It destroys marriages. It destroys families. It destroys anything you can imagine. Like every relationship, gossip can destroy. So I'll be talking about gossip tomorrow on Periscope. So look for me tomorrow. I'm going to think about 7:30ish. But that's the one that is right now getting me. There's somebody talking very catty, negative, and trying to tear the team apart. And it's not really working to their benefits, because I'm not sinking down to that level, if you will. So I'm persisting through this one, because it's really a difficult situation when you have a team member or a client or somebody talking you down and trying to pull you down, because that's what's going to happen right here at number 4. 4 is going to be big with your business. It's going to be business related, trying to attack that. So once you make it past number 4, then, Murphy's number 5 is like, oh, this person's really, really serious. Let's make it hard for them. Let's just throw everything we have at them. But right here, you have this massive swamp. This, in the jungles, you have these massive swamps. And all this goo and disgusting, and it smells so bad that you don't even want to step into it. But that is the only way to get to the land of paradise. And when you go into this one, there'll be spots where it just drops out and you'll sink and you'll be like going under for a while. And then you'll come back up and you'll go under, because Murphy's number 5 is going to shoot absolutely everything at you. Absolutely everything. And as you're going through this muck and this disgusting swampy water, and you're going to be going down and coming up and going back down and coming up, and you keep trucking forward even though it's like the most uncomfortable feeling you've ever felt, Murphy's number 5 is going to be like, man, we threw everything we can. And they gain respect for you. And Murphy's number 5 is like, man, this person's too strong. Their skin is too thick. They have that rhino spirit. And they've become a rhino. So let's just let this one go. So, right there, Murphy's number 5 lets up. And you're trucking along, and you come into this crystal clear, beautiful water that just cleanses you off. It's like the most beautiful blue you've ever seen. So crystal clear you can see all the way down. You make it out, and you get on the beach, and you get up to the road, and there's a limo waiting for you. You finally arrived at the land of paradise. And this limo takes you up to the most gorgeous, amazing home you've ever imagined. Black marble floors, windows that have the most amazing view. And you walk up, and you made it. And the phone rings. And it's one of your friends from when you started that you asked if they wanted to join. And they say, I wish I would have. And you can say right then and there, yeah, I'm glad I did. Now this story may sound really strange. Cows, rhinos, whatever. But the persisting and the getting through each one of those committees has really helped me. It's really helped me get to the next level. So I hope this story helps you too. So every time you feel like you're going to just stop, know that that land of paradise is on that other side. And you just have to get through those horrible committees that are going to try to tear you down. Because let me tell you, my friends, you're going to be tried to get torn down. And that's what happens in the business. But those who make it past it are so much better because of that. I hope you enjoyed that, and I love you, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Be on tomorrow because the gossip topic is like huge for me, and I can't wait to see you then. Take care. Bye. Love ya.